Hey everyone, so it's been a long time since we've had a go of Silent Hill F, and I was getting a little frustrated on the last one with the puzzle, so it's nice that we're starting again fresh. Had a little bit of a break from it, seeing what we can dig through, seeing what we can sort of dig up. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to move us over to the desktop screen now, and let's see what we can actually figure out through the game. As for myself personally, I've got my car fixed, I've got all my setup sorted. You can see I've got my new cans, which I'll talk about in another video. But, you know, it's sort of, what's the time now? Let's just have a little look. So it's 11 o'clock at night, nice and dark, perfect for some Silent Hill. Let's get on with it. Let's see what we can dig through. So we're back in this dream world, this dream state, this place that reminds me so much of the Soma estate in Fruits Basket. And we are progressing quite rapidly with the story. It seems she's still very intrigued by Fox Mask. So we're starting to, you know, the facade, the curtain is sort of falling on the whole situation now. You know, come say your goodbyes. I feel like even though it's been a minute, this feels like a separate part of the game. And it looks so fun. From here on in, I think that the game really starts to look the part. And I've got the Dolby surround sound on now. So it's sort of like got the echoes of her footsteps bouncing around. And like I was saying before in other episodes, I think that horror is 90% audio. I think that, you know, audio and lighting, you can get away with so much. You can get away with so much if your audio and lighting is on point. So again, we're looking for something. And we're going to be moving on into here. And it definitely feels like there's something not right anymore. It doesn't feel enticing. It doesn't feel magical. It feels like it's not right. It feels like there is something very wrong here. And now we're going, and I don't have a lamp anymore. So she ditched the lamp in favor of the Naginata, which is what we've got here. And she also has a dagger. I've kind of forgotten the controls a little bit. Okay, so general trigger, just for reference, still using the 8-bit dough. I haven't put an order in for the Wolverine V3. I know I said I would, but I started watching a few videos on them, and I don't I don't know whether it's really worth it at this stage. So, Sakuko's room. Rabbits. And her diary, is it? Parent-teacher journal. Just a note. Sakuko's mother, I want you to thank you for teaching my daughter. Apologize for what happened on a field trip. It seems like she caused a lot of trouble. My daughter has been that way ever since she was young. As a child, she always hated when we turned off the lights to go. Oh yeah, she's terrified of the dark, isn't she? I remember now. And she avoided dark movie theaters and tunnels. So she's got, you know, like a phobia of the dark. I believe the reason her fear came back during the field trip is because she is unaccustomed to sleeping in a different environment. I gave her a stern talking to for behaving so shamefully at her age. It's difficult, right? Because it seems like it is a proper phobia, but you can't just, you know, sternly talk someone out of a phobia. She has since reflected on her behaviour and is sorry for how she acted. Please accept both her and my apologies. And as someone who grew up in Thailand in the 90s, I can tell you, like, there's real dark. That's real dark. Not the dark that we have now. There's so much light pollution. We never really see the dark. The Yokan? And then what sort of stuff does Sakako have? So she's got a teddy bear, tiny mirror. Got those chairs, one of those fans. She likes rabbits. Does that have any significance? What's the zodiac? The rabbit zodiac. I wish I knew more. But then we have this here. So this is just to open the door, right? Okay. So we've got a rabbit and a bird. And then what's this? This is ganja leaf. So if I activate this, the bird opens, this comes through. Okay, that's on me. But I have to remember these come back. This is very, very loud. I think I'm going to have to turn the volume down a little bit. Okay, so the headphones default to quite a high percentile. If anyone who knows stuff about audio, let me know down in the comments what's better, because what I try and do is sort of have my PC set at 50% gain and then have the monitors around 50%, because I know you need to have enough gain to be able to sort of engage the speakers, but I don't think having too much is good, right? I might be wrong, but that's the way that I've always sort of done it. So she's calling out for Hinako. So okay, so the little thing there is telling us what it opens up. So this will shut the gate. Now, and I have to watch this Naginato. It's very powerful, but as you saw, it got caught on the wall. So I might actually go with my dagger a little bit here. And the dagger doesn't take as much stamina, from what I remember, to wield. And there we are. So we've got the ganja door there. I'm presuming it's not a ganja leaf, but why not? So we've got the bird, the ganja. I can hear sounds everywhere. I can hear, like, I can hear so many sounds. So this is sort of like running. She said something about running before, but I forgot. A little bit like After the Rain. I suppose I should do an episode on anime and manga, really. But I really like After the Rain. It's about a girl who breaks her foot and she can't run. She's a sprinter and she can't run. So she just works this like mundane job in a restaurant for 6 months. And her manager is like a washed up writer, and they both sort of like wondering what the hell they're going to do with their lives, because he's sick of being in this rut and she's sort of like, you know, at a red light. And it's great. It's one of those, you know, like if you've ever been in Japan just after the rainy season as well, and you've got that like very fresh smell, and you know that the heat is coming. Like it embodies that sort of feeling. Anyway, I hate gym cash. Just looking at my gym clothes makes me depressed. They're holding a long distance race at school soon. I know it's just an excuse for them to watch me come in last and laugh at me. No, people really aren't that interested in you, Sakako. I knew how lonely I would feel if everyone just left me in the dust, so I asked Rinko if she would hang back so we could run across the finishing line together, and you know what? She said yes. I asked Hinako too, but she said no, because Hinako actually participated. This was her hobby. She said it's because she's in a sports club and she'll get yelled at by the teacher if she doesn't try her best. Well, I suppose that makes sense if it's true, and this is where the doubts and the spiraling comes in. But I know the truth. I know it's really because you don't want to be held back by slowpoke like me. Maybe there's more than a grain of truth to that. I hope Hinako trips and falls and breaks all the bones in her body so she can never run it. Spiteful. Spiteful. Oh, this game does look good, mind. Okay. So I'm really not... Oh, okay, what's going on? Didn't seem to do anything to me. Alright. Okay, this is doing nothing. I'm really out. Isn't there something to... Okay, sanity meter. Okay, and now I do... Okay, so that was a waste of sanity. So sorry I'm going quiet a minute. I'm just trying to get my head around the controls again after not playing for a little while. Okay, so that just wasted my sanity again. I mean, these encounters really aren't tense when I'm on camera and we're doing the walkthrough, the walk and the talk. Really isn't. This is why, like I said, I don't know how much of these I'm going to do, because I don't feel like for research and development purposes these really hold any significance, because I'm not playing the game the way it's intended when I'm playing it like this. Higashi. So what does the Higashi do? I don't know. Let's have a little look. No, that's the... So I've got too many bandages. First aid kit as well, toolkits. Okay. Yokan. So the one Yokan really needs to go. What does the Higashi do? An assortment of small fruit flavor candies that melt in your mouth, fully restore stamina and prevent stamina. So I don't need that, but I greatly restores health. Okay, I don't need to use that just yet because I've only got a tiny bit of health missing. Right, so now the ganja door's open. And we've got this dude. Got all mouth face. Honestly, so I'm not... What the hell? So as we get through the game further, I really am beginning to side with what people say about the combat. The first time I played the game, you sort of push through it because you want to know what happens, right? But this time round, I have less patience for the puzzles, and I have less patience for the combat. Especially when, you know, these are just reskins of old enemies that we've faced before. Like, we faced this guy the first time we were in the Shadow Realm. But he's now got a blue glow. So I think that's a little bit lazy. And I know that, you know, perhaps the budget wasn't massive for something like this, and they've made it stretch really far, you know. But still, doesn't mean we can't learn from it. So can we go back, or is that door closed now? That door's closed now. We've got the crying demon thing in there. Oh, I remember this. So yeah, maybe I gave this game more allowances than it was worth the first time around, because I was interested in seeing what was actually happening. So we've got the blood on the walls and stuff here. I don't know, like, I mean, this is on a tangent, but the more I research the games industry and the games community, the less I like it. But that doesn't mean I dislike video games any less. But what I was trying to say is, like, obviously I've been looking into this a lot. And I disagree with like 90% of what I see, and I think that's what separates a creator from a consumer. But some people actually get scared, and I don't understand that personally. Like, I find them tense, and they can be a bit unnerving, unsettling. Like, but I don't find them scary. After all, they are just games. You could just turn it off. Or you can just pause it and sit back and go, okay, well, what's going on, kind of thing. I hate the dark. It reminds me that I'm all alone. Everyone's always telling me that I'm a little weird, that I'm a bit strange. I'm the weird kid who's always by herself. I can forget my loneliness at school, inside a classroom full of people chatting away. In the dark, however, it comes creeping back. The handwriting here turns erratic and emotional. I know the truth. I know what Hinako really thinks of me. She thinks I'm weird, just like all the others. I know it's true. I know she's making fun of me behind my back. So she's got problems, Sakuko, hasn't she? Does she think they don't badmouth her when she's not around? I can't stand the fact that she puts on a fake smile and acts like she's the only normal one, all while looking down on me. She makes me so mad. I hate her. I hate her so much. This is supposed to be a friend. And I know that girls can be like this. Boys, if we have a falling out, we tend to, you know, have a little bit of a fight, have a little bit of a scrap, and then it's kind of all over and done with. We either make up or we don't. But girls, it seethes under the surface, right? Oh, nasty, nasty. Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna have to use a bandage. Oh no. Oh, okay, so I'm heavy hitting all the time. No, I don't want this. Okay. Right. Now can I... Okay. Right, I can do what I want to... Okay, that's not the greatest. Maybe switch back to the knife. Okay, so I'm really getting annihilated here just by one monster. And then I can't do anything when this happens. Press anything and it's just... Okay, so what I need to do... Okay, I'm dead. Okay, let's carry on. Let's try it again. Right, so we're starting all the way back here now. Like I said, I mean, does it remember that I've read all these? Do I have to pretend to read them again? Like, okay, so I needed to pray here and record my progress. What have I got to enshrine? Nothing really. Nothing here like we just saw. And this is what I say, I'm starting to lose patience. Because, and this is why, you know, I'm sort of putting so much effort into the R&D for the input, because the game has to play well. If the game plays well, you can also forgive some gripes. But right now, like, I agree with the majority vote and think that, you know, the combat is a chore. And then this, like, you can do nothing. Like, what can I do? Just take it on the chin. You know, and I feel like it's a little cheap. Like, it's forcing me. Clearly, it's forcing me to use my resources, and it feels cheap. But I played my first playthrough on the PlayStation 5, and now my second playthrough is on the PC. But that means that it's not like New Game Plus or anything. So it's got all the downsides of being a second playthrough, of not hitting those novelties. But did I miss a Yokan? Something, doesn't matter. So it's, you know, it's got the downsides of not having any of the novelties without any of the upsides of being a second playthrough. So there's that. And I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm just going to run past this thing sometimes. Okay, so there's two of them now. Okay, so that's not great. Okay, I don't want to lock on to anything. I want to go through here. And then I want to push bandage. Let's go into here. Open up the ganja door. And this is where we fall. So now I need to go in here. But now I'm just gonna... And this is... I think this is a design failure. Because for me to want to bypass this... Like, if this was Call of Duty Modern Warfare or Resident Evil 8, like, I'd welcome the fight, but I see no purpose in it right now because it's not fulfilling. And like I said, you can learn from that. That's something that is a teachable moment. Okay, so let's run back to the ganja door. And this will take me all the way back to the beginning. Didn't I just open the ganja door? What's going on? Does it only open for a set time? What? What's going on? Why did the ganja door not open? Okay, now it's open. And now we're back in the room. And yes, there was a Yokan in there, which I don't need. And let's pray here again. I know I'm going to see the demons again, but okay, let's do what we can. Let's offer this up. Got 500 faith. But I don't have any Emmas, so I don't need to worry about getting rid of my health items too soon. But now, okay, I have to press this guy. And I love the Resident Evil puzzles. Like it's satisfying. I mean, the lickers can be a little bit annoying sometimes, but in general, it's very satisfying. And now let's shut this. Okay, so I'm locking him in here with me. That was a bit useless. But at least now the ganja door's open here. And let's... Okay, so she just stabbed me in the back. But none of this is sort of having the effect it should have. Because I'm just trying to avoid enemies. Hey, Mr. Rabbit, guess what? I made my first ever friend today. Her name is Shimizu Hinako. So Hinako was her first friend. But Mr. Rabbit, she's my first ever real life human friend, so I'm a little scared. What if she throws me away and forgets me? I'm so scared of that happening. When I told my new best friend, Hinako, this, she said she'd never ever abandon me. Not ever. She promised me. But you know what, Mr. Rabbit? What if Hinako breaks her promise? What if she betrays me? What if she's lying? No. Wow. Hinako said she wouldn't ever leave me. She promised. I had to believe her. Because that's what friends do, right? They believe each other. And that's not how life works, but okay. Hinako, if you betray me, you'll pay. I'll make you pay and regret ever hurting me. Got it. Petty, childish. I mean, these are real problems that girls face growing up, I'm presuming. Like I said, guys, we tend not to really... Looks a bit jank. That dude looks a bit jank. Crawling through the hallway like that. Leans on indie jank. What's in here? Nothing. Stop this. Okay, so where am I? So they can come into this room, even though this room has a save space and it's... So can I... So what's going on? I really have no stamina right now. Okay. Wait there. Can I... Okay, so no. That dude's hitting me way too much. So what does the quick, like, last minute dodge do then if it doesn't allow me to counter strike? I think that by being half in and half out, it's really not done itself favors. I'm sorry to say, but I'm 100% with the general consensus on the combat here, especially when you think about something like Sekiro, which does combat perfectly and still manages to be quite eerie. Okay, so now we can get back to some semblance of normalcy. My family has served as caretakers of the Senengunsi shrine for generations, but for the past few decades, the shrine's popularity has been on the decline. When it came time for my dad to become the head priest, he declined the role and got a regular office job instead. Yeah. Mum and dad are always saying negative things about the shrine. The head priests are obsolete. Even my grandfather says that the tradition of upkeeping the shrine will die this generation. Luckily, that's not the case. There's still quite a lot there. I help out as Miko at the shrine whenever an event's held. I love how dignified the rituals are and how the way they make me feel like my soul is being cleansed. So she's got real problems, Akako. I'd like to be more than just a helper at the shrine. I think I'd like to become head priest one day. Last person you'd want as head priest. She's got some real deep-seated problems. Okay, so let's try and do this first. Sakako's dream. Oh, her dream of being head priest. That's all that is. Okay, I thought that was a puzzle, but it turns out it's just a little thing. So I could have just run past. Come on, come on, come on. And now, oh, she had me. 3. Is that because I let them live before? What's past here? Nothing. Okay. And now through. Will they come in? I don't think they will. Okay, so there she is. Caged up. 2 must face each other as one to pray for mutual prosperity. Those who do shall lift their heads to level height as if they were reflections in a mirror, as custom dictates. With the shading of light shall you condemn the past to dark. So they need to face each other. No. Perhaps they face this way. So that goes up. That goes up. So that goes there. Do they face away from each other? Okay. Restraint lampshade. Talon lampshade. Now I need to put these over. Okay, so we're gonna leave her in the dark, aren't we? And what do we have here? Let's have a little watch of this scene. I do like how this game is shot. Yeah, look at that, that's a brilliant little scene. It's just like the way Hinako changes over the course of the game. She just walks away. I do love the way that everything is composed. So you've got certain shots which are quite symmetric, other shots that are very asymmetric. I think this game will age well overall, but like I said, that last puzzle really annoyed me, and now the combat here is really annoying me. Okay, so we've got the right white rabbit emblem key. So let's go and open this up, and then we'll do the other half next time, I think. But this is sort of like your typical fare now, I think. Okay, and up here. And now we should be able to open the one. But we still have the other side to go. Just through here. Does look good though. Would I be more forgiving if I was just playing this game myself? I think I would be more forgiving. I think that, you know, streaming like this and having one eye on the game, one eye on the camera sort of exasperates some of the faults, definitely. And then what do we have here? So we've got Rinko here. And Rinko is the one who's a little bit more openly sadistic towards Hinako, right? So I don't know, maybe... Am I supposed to empathize with Hinako? Because right now I kind of do. Like, I kind of, like, even personally, where my dad retired to the Welsh Valleys. I know what it feels like to be in a place that's too small for you, surrounded by people who are too small for you, who do bring you down. And, like, not purposefully, but they're just happy with how things are. And when you're not happy with how things are, it's like oil and water. And they see that as a betrayal. So let's end it there. Let's end it with something that I think a lot of people feel. At least we got back into it. At least we got back into the game. Can I quit it and get my... Okay, so as it defaulted to... Why is my keyboard not even working? Just gone to sleep. Okay, so... There we are, so you can see my ugly mug now. So at least we've got back into Silent Hill F. And like I said, any pretense in the game of it being anything but a horror is gone. So they've clearly crossed that threshold after the school where you know, I would say the school is still leaning on the psychological, and this is psychological, but it's clearly, you've seen the blood on the walls, like the enemies with the blue glow, how they've turned a little bit bullet spongy, like it's signaled a turn, and it's also very much proof that, you know, you have to nail the basics, you have to nail the gameplay. The gameplay has to be fun, it has to be rewarding at the very least, and responsive, responsive and rewarding, even if tense and kind of like ferric is the word I like to say. Like in Resident Evil, you always finish a fight with not quite enough ammo to see you through the next one, or to feel quite safe exploring new places. So, you know, you can balance it. It can be done. it's done elsewhere. So I do feel like that is a low point in this game. But again, as I said, we're talking about a game that has made what budget they had stretch very, very far. That's very clear. They've punched above their weight class with this, and I think overall the story in the game and just how different it is to a lot of things will make it age well. But I don't think, like, in terms of artistic dissection, there's not a lot to deep dive into here. Sakako is clearly a very disturbed person. What's the word? I'm trying to think of the word, like in Welcome to the NHK, where there's like a very toxic, codependent relationship going on. I feel the Sakako's had that, and it's kind of strange because Sakako was the first to go. She died just in front of the candy shop right at the beginning, so we don't really ever see, apart from that scene where she's on the ledge, what Sakako is really like. We only get these snippets of what possibly she's like, whereas Rinko, we get quite a bit of time to hate her, don't me? And I feel like that's portrayed in this as well, where the area where Rinko's in, you immediately see her caged, and it's red, and it's like Hinako's really angry at her, isn't she? Even if she doesn't outwardly show it, it's definitely the case, and Hinako's kind of had enough just from the facial expressions that she's using when dealing with Sakako. It's just like it's a done thing. It's a finished thing. So there's definitely that coming through. I feel like despite less nuances in the combat, the nuances in the animation, in the direction, in the narrative, they're building. They're still building. So as we always say here, this is Banshee Interactive. I'm David Roberts, and remember, this is not a simulation.